as quite honestly, as disheartening and as embarrassing a loss as we've had here in 3 years, I'm disappointed in the way that we responded to having a lead at the half. You know, we talk about the first 4 minutes being critical to start the second half, especially when you've got a team down and they score 8 points on their first 3 possessions, and I thought that was a real critical juncture in the game that enabled them to cut it from 18 to 10 in basically 3 minutes. So they cut it in half in 3 minutes, and we just didn't come out and respond the way that we needed to there. You know, that both times they scored, the first 2 3-point field goals was very late in the shot clock. And you've heard me talk a lot about toughness and us being tougher, and I thought we showed some glimpses of some good things in regard to that in the first half. But in the second half, key rebounds we didn't get, loose balls they came up with, and then our inability to run our offense. You know, I thought their pressure, you know, it really pushed us out and extended us. And we had some, you know, critical turnovers there, you know, midway through, I should say, the second half, that then kind of got them over the hump, got them the lead. And then once they got the lead, I didn't like the look in our guys' eyes. I mean, I didn't like the look in their eyes. And that's not their fault, that's my fault. It's my fault. So it's unacceptable. It starts with me. It's my fault. They shouldn't react that way and respond that way, and that's my fault. Questions?
Tommy, can you begin to wrap your head around what happened in the second half out there? You know how rare it is for a road team to make that kind of run in the second half in conference.
Yeah, like Coach said, we didn't come out ready to go in the second half. It starts with me and the other seniors. We didn't come out and take them out of what we're trying to do, and they took us out of what we were trying to do. You know, they got the ball out of DJ's hand and made other guys make plays and try to beat them. And you know, other guys weren't, me included, weren't able to do that. And you know, we didn't take them out of anything they wanted to do in the second half. They got pretty much anything they wanted. You know, we let shooters shoot, and we let big guys get it right to the rim and get second and third opportunities. And so they basically imposed their will on us, and we didn't respond at all.
Does it feel like a rock bottom feeling right now?
Probably in my 4 years, this is as close. I don't really, you know, I've never really know what it felt like, but this is probably as close to it as I've ever felt.
Coach called a few timeouts really early there in the second half. You know, what were you trying to say to him, try to get him going?
Just trying to do everything possible. Play zone, change our half-court defense, a couple wrinkles here and there, about 9 minutes to go, to try to change our rotation, call timeouts, just looking for answers.
Coach, last weekend against Kent State, your team had a little bit of a low energy period in the second half, and you put Tunji in for a few minutes, trying to get defense to play a little bit stronger. Tunji didn't play in the second half today. What was sort of led to that decision to keep him on the bench?
Just feel, you know, Tunji did a great job when he got in there in the first half, and you know, helped us get a couple critical stops, and but more just feel than anything, or flow of the game, and you know, they were really pressuring us, and so I felt like it was important that we go with some of our veteran guys. I thought, you know, ball handling was going to be an important part moving forward there in the second half, as they were really extending their defense.
Tommy, Coach mentioned once you guys got behind, you didn't like the look in the players' eyes. Did you get a sense of that? Did you feel that out there? Once the lead was gone, that I don't know if you guys were desperate or disorganized or disheartened, but it seemed like the tenor changed once you guys didn't have the lead.
I thought that, you know, despite what happened in the second half, I felt like we huddled more than we have in previous games. We were just trying to get something started, and just couldn't get anything. Just couldn't get anybody amped up. Couldn't couldn't get any kind of spark, or we just basically acted like our dog got ran over or something. I don't know.
Is that kind of what you saw, Coach?
Yeah, a little bit, just in timeouts and different things. I mean, you gotta keep playing. There's a lot of time left. And I thought that, we had a little bit better response coming at the under 4. I thought that was a little bit better. We were a little bit more fiery. That next defensive possession, we had a little pop to us. But I think that, obviously we played well in the first half. A big part of us playing well in addition to us executing, I thought, pretty well. Mulkey had 2 fouls, and that really impacted the game, I thought. As Tommy said, I thought he did a good job of really getting in to DJ and trying to take him away. When he wasn't out there in the first half, we were a little bit more fluid, and he's a competitor. I've enjoyed watching him on film leading up to the game. I mean, he's a heck of a competitor. I thought, him slapping the floor 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, I mean, he was just, really imposing his will, I thought, on the game, and was really affecting and inspiring his teammates. And I thought that was a big thing for them in the second half.
What are your thoughts, Coach, when you see the other team shoot 72% from the field in the second half?
You don't want to know. Embarrassing might be a more appropriate word. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
Anyone else?
Just
Go ahead, Nick.
one last thing, Coach, how much did the foul trouble, especially with a guy like Devon, and it's been a constant issue with him, but especially him missing big chunks of time in the second half?
It affects us. It affects us. We got to play harder without fouling. We do. And we didn't do it. If I thought to start the game, I'd have to look through the play-by-play here, but I looked up at one point, we were pretty deep into the game and had like 2 or 3 fouls. We were doing pretty well in that area, and then all of a sudden we just started hatcheting guys. That's discipline, that's toughness to be able to defend and be able to get stops, without fouling. And we didn't do a good enough job there. And you could look and say, well, they had 24 fouls to your 17, but I thought our fouls were just, not real smart fouls. Fouling's a mistake. I mean, fouling negates hustle. We talk about it all the time, and the harder you play, the less you should foul. And we just, it did affect us, Jason. It did. Just like it did on Wednesday night, when we had those guys in foul trouble. Those guys have got to learn to be a little bit more disciplined, because you're going to get 1 or 2 sometimes anyway, just out of playing. It's the ones where you lack discipline, or you don't show your hands, or do some things that we've been talking about with some guys to try to limit that frustrates you as a coach, and that we've got to get better at, because it does affect our team when that happens.
For Nick, Tommy, Coach, you guys are the first group, unfortunately, to lose 8 home games in a single season. Any reaction? Do you wad that up and throw it away and worry about getting better next week? How do you respond to that? Anybody?
Go ahead.
I mean, 8 home losses, that's obviously the most I've ever been a part of. Can't really do anything to change it now, so we need to buck up and get on to the next game. We got another home one on Wednesday. So we're gonna, we're in the same position that we were at the end of the East last year, and we just need to put together a run here and get some games against the West opponents, and then if we haven't learned anything from playing the East opponents once so far, if we haven't got a little extra fire for them when we play them again in the second round, then it's going to be real disappointing. So we just need to kind of have it in our memory, but it's kind of, don't forget, but you got to learn from it. Just get on to the next one.